Bernie Sanders went back to his childhood home in New York to launch his second run for the White House.
The underlying principles of our government will not be greed, hatred, and lies.
The campaign now over, his presidential ambitions never to be fulfilled.
But as I see the crisis gripping the nation, exacerbated by a president unwilling or unable to provide any kind of credible leadership, and the work that needs to be done to protect people in this most desperate hour, I cannot in good conscience continue to mount a campaign that cannot win and which would interfere with the important work required of all of us.
He ran in 2016 and built a network, a support base, some would say a movement.
Are you ready for a political revolution?
They believed he could deliver.
Yeah, I think the values that the senator has been fighting for, clean air, clean water, healthcare as a human right, I think those are values that are going to live, beyond one campaign cycle.
As the fight for the nomination got underway, the oldest man in the race suffered a heart attack.
Let me hear what the doctor has to say, okay?
He returned to campaigning a short time later, insisting there was no long-term issue, but he suffered disappointment in the first nominating contest. In the administrative mess that was the Iowa caucuses, Sanders came second behind relative newcomer former Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He won the next two states but lost in South Carolina to Joe Biden. That seemed to energize the former vice president's campaign.
I am very much alive because of you.
He gained momentum, endorsements, and most importantly, supporters. On Super Tuesday, Sanders won California but lost other significant states.
I think what we're also seeing is that there is a natural limit to Sanders' appeal to the Democratic Party writ large.
For many, it was the label that Sanders, the independent senator from Vermont, attached to himself.
I am a democratic socialist.
And his previous support for left-wing regimes and communist dictators caused a media frenzy. While he was talking about that, he wasn't pushing his message. He lost 3 more states. Like 2016, he had little realistic chance of catching the Democratic front-runner. To continue risks splitting the party, an accusation he faced 4 years ago, with some claiming his supporters stayed home, effectively handing the presidency to Donald Trump. His presidential ambitions may be over, but he insists he's committed to removing the man he describes as the most dangerous president in American history.
Donald Trump must be defeated, and I will do everything in my power to make that happen.
Bernie Sanders believed in universal health care, higher taxes for billionaires, and free university education. For a long time, he was considered on the fringes of America's political debate, but believes his ideas are now mainstream.
I just don't consider myself very radical. I think most of the positions that I hold are consistent with the American people want.
But not enough of them believed he'd be able to deliver in the White House. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, Washington.